check. 1, 2, check. Czechoslovakia. Welcome, everybody, to the South Park Phone Destroyer weekly update for week number 13. I'm your host, Glanzer Gaming. Welcome in. Oh man, it looks like my white balance is a little bit frothy here. Look at this. What's up, Rez? What's up, everybody? How is everybody doing? I appreciate you guys stopping by for the weekly update for, like I said earlier, week number 13. First things first, congratulations to Daniel. That's actually Savage Killer. Savage Killer won the giveaway. Hey, Sea Urchin, what's up? Rez, Tattooed Jimmy, welcome in. Stabbarista, Silius, Anarchist Banker, everybody, Outcast, Tattooed. I said you guys' names twice, I think, but it's okay. Hillbilly Hot Dog was here real early. Chump Plays, welcome in as well. And Jimmy James, of course, thank you for that stream, baby. I really appreciate ya. The stream, baby. The stream, baby. Okay, hold on. I'm going to change one thing here. Configure video. Well, that's not what I wanted. Well, that's that. Oh, that's better. Ooh, that's better. Ooh. All right, I feel better. Still a little, it's a little on the light side. Hold on. I forgot to click the button to add in the gain. For some reason, like it says right now that it's at 5 gain or whatever, 10 gain, whatever. But like until I actually click on the bar, it doesn't apply the gain. So you see, it just gives me a little bit extra light. I think it opens the aperture a little bit or something. Anyway, welcome in, Savage. Hey, the Savage is right here. Congratulations, buddy, on that $15 giveaway that he won last week on the weekly update YouTube video. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel. I actually have to change that link. I have a better link that has like all my shit in one link. I just haven't put that up there yet. Too bad I don't record my TVT matches because I would have had a clip. I timed my Gizmo charges just perfect after each phone blast. My Gizmo took all 3 phones in one match. Hell yeah, Outcast. I feel like I taught you that one. Somebody else showed me them doing that same thing with Gizmo, so I feel like I kind of patented that. That's the Glanzer. That's the Gizmo, the Gizmo Glanzer, or the Glanzer Gizmo. That's the Glanzer Gizmo right there, baby. The GG, the GG, the Gizmo, Gizmo. Anyway. So our bracket this week at Free to Play Wales was very non-competitive. So let's show a bracket that does matter. Dire Tide beating Illuminati 2 weeks in a row. It's been a while since that's happened, but Illuminati losing by definitely a win, unless they just lost a lot of, maybe they had 13, 1-4 or 112s or something like that. Who knows? But definitely an interesting week overall. If you look at the point scores here, Dire Tide, and this is all the memes were about, Illuminati lost to Free to Play and Chefs from the average. So Dire Tide at the top this week. They played well. Chefs Elite a little bit below them. Free to Play was a little below them. If we actually didn't bracket with them this week, but if we would have, they would have beat us by 2 points, which would have been pretty sweet. But we didn't really, I didn't do my strats this week. A lot of us didn't practice as much. When we don't have chefs in the bracket, we don't really buckle down, especially when early on in Saturday morning, all the teams we were going up against caught a couple losses, so we're like, well, we can just relax, fuck around. But that actually changes things up quite a bit here. If we look at the current, this is the current leaderboard. We don't really need to know those two. I should have cut that differently. That was my fault. I'm just here for the Scott voice. Man, I hope it's there. Glans. All right. But Free to Play Wales still holding strong now with a 300-point lead on second place. Thought I heard somebody talk. Going crazy. My cat was just, when my cat runs up the stairs, it makes he growls. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like this weird meowy, growly, I don't know. Anyway, Chef's Elite taking that second place spot back from Illuminati. Pretty handedly too. It's not like 5 points or anything, so that's cool. And then Dire Tide taking that first spot, puts them 50 ahead of Six Samurai. Six Samurai must have done very poorly this week. If Dire Tide was able to go up 50 points on them, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. But yes, an interesting week to say the least. I didn't think that the games were too difficult. I think that free to play probably had, I think there was one choice we probably made wrong, but otherwise I feel like we had the right deck. Nambla, I felt didn't have the right deck. Namblos had a pretty good deck, but Moody didn't have very good levels, and so Moody got his ass kicked. But we had some pretty good games on the Adventure Lock, so let's get into those ones. Let's pull up which one are we starting with, boys? Let's go fly a kite. What? Flight of hand, welcome in. How you doing? Okay, let's not start with the Adventure Locks. Let's start with a nice one from Moody. Wait for it to come up though. There we go. Right, we got Moody. Just got here. Moody got ass kicked. What happened? I just didn't have very good levels. I mean, I don't have bad levels, don't get me wrong, but the level 1 DSR is what lost me a couple games. Like, I had a Sizzler coming at me, hit him with the DSR. He still killed the DSR and ate my new kid. So I knew that. That's why on free to play we leveled DSR to like 4, I think. 3, 4. Because if she can't kind of deal with the Sizzler's already stacked. It's still gonna wipe the shit out of you. And new kid's not gonna help very much. But I got some bad matchups. So they got the slave coming at us. So it's good to always try to get the slave on your side, so you can try. That's a decent AQR to get the Randy, but the level 3 doesn't have a high threshold, so I think just the Randy might have been able to break the heal. The difference of the heal between slave level 3 and slave level 4 is quite large. It goes from like 90 something to like whatever that 130 or whatever is. So that's one reason that like dumping a bunch of caps into slave, you know, maybe we could have put caps elsewhere, because he was just gonna eat see, I didn't really have a card to play here. I should have played Mylian, I guess. Maybe I thought maybe this would work out. I should have maybe waited for him to play a card. I don't know, probably Mylian, but you don't really want to just lose your Leanne to his Leanne, you know. Maybe Belf up top. I can't remember what I do. Just keep him on the other side. Ooh, okay. All right, that's not bad. Now Sizzles will be in the mix. Oh, that was a mistake. I fucked that up. I screwed that up. Well, I don't think Sizzle was ever going to be in that mix, though. So I was just pretty much protecting Mecha there, which was pretty good. Mecha's a tough card to deal with this week. Terrible freeze right there. Mecha's a tough card to deal with this week. Level 4 Mecha in the back is pretty tough to deal with. And even if you hit him with AQR, it still takes a long fucking time for her to die. For Mecha to die, that is. Let's see if we get a good freeze ray in here. Ooh, the Belf on the backside. Will the gnome still take it? Belf is pretty slow. Ooh, one of the keys to this week was knowing that Belf. Ooh, the transmog on that. There you go. Bring the slave in. I'm thinking about, like, I don't want to get hit by the DSR, right? But my Belf on the bottom there actually surviving the gnomes. Nicely done. Nicely done. Oh, but CKI slipping through the top. Let's see if we can get him healed. Oh, he gets frozen. Use your ability. We use that to protect the Randy, but we're just going to take 1 bar here. Unless the Randy can get through. Freeze him. Randy, you just got to hit twice. No, I guess technically I could use the ability, and then, no, it would have taken too long. Would have taken too long. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Cat Spray, what's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? All right, now we got the main account. Let's go back and look at that deck for a second. So I felt like this had... Now Mecha over the Satan, I don't think that mattered either way. I think you could do well with either one of them, but against a good player, the mecha was just going to eat the AQR, and Satan helped clear the cocks if they get bundled up. You know, if you have the 5 cocks, like 3 from Slave and then 2 from Randy, could help kill a Bebe that got stacked, could help kill the Gizmos, could kill the Dougie. So I thought the Satan was a pretty good choice as far as like overall defense and stuff. Then the AQR for the range. Gizmo is very tough. I felt like maybe CKI over Dougie. I feel like that's just as impactful as a Dougie. You know, like you can put CKI on the bottom side and he's gonna kind of go for New Kid. Obviously you can body block and put stuff in front of him, but it's still, you still got to deal with it with pretty much the same energy that you deal with Dougie, right? But Dougie was good for like that guaranteed, especially that freeze ray. We have some fun with that for sure. So Dougie might have been the right choice. I think that was kind of a player's choice. Like I would have preferred the CKI probably because I know that I can turn one CKI into all 3 bars, right? You can't really do that with Dougie unless you have a shield. A high level Dougie does survive level 14 New Kid, but with not a whole lot of health, it's really easy to kill him after that. Free to play made pretty decent choices. I may have missed it if you said it already, but what was the one choice you'd have done differently? I would have maybe gone Mecha over Satan, partially because I felt like the Cyborg actually really did work, and it would have been nice to have the Mecha to just reverse the Cyborg. But you can see here like just the sheer amount of health that Satan brings on a week where you only have Transmog. I mean, look at this. You could DSR it, but that's still thousands of health. Like that's not gonna do it. So yeah, I think Satan probably was the choice. He's just so much health. And that level, I mean, look at that. That level 14 New Kid ain't stopping it. Even if that was a level 3 Sizzler, I don't think that would have stopped. Level 4 Sizzler probably would have stopped him. We retarget and we do decent damage to Sizzles. So yeah. But I was gonna say CKI over Dougie would probably be the one I would definitely have swapped. But Dougie did fine. I thought Dougie did fine. But I thought against like a skilled player, Dougie could lose value because like, you know, you could get a nice stop of the Dougie and be up in energy. Satan has a body at level 3 even is really high, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you don't have like things like Inkin and stuff to chunk it, which is typical, what you'd expect. So I want her to die. Now this is interesting. If DSR would have died, then I would have had to wait for the death animation to play AQR. But because she mind controlled him, that instantly takes the Bebe out of my control, and then I can play AQR, or not Bebe, sorry, Red. I can play Red. I hit my own DSR, but she was fucking dead anyway. So that just lets me play it a little bit earlier, because like really I probably wouldn't have been able to play it until, I mean, she would have hit Mecha one time. The next time Randy probably killed her. So let's say 2 seconds and then a 1 second ability. 1, 2, and then 1 second, and then now I could play. So I mean, I already have poison damage coming out in the time that I had to. So I mean, it worked out. It worked out. It's pretty cool though. I love it. Like sometimes you can sneak, like if you have double Cartman, like Zen, Grand Wizard, or some shit like that. If somebody mind controls it, you can sneak the other one out quick and you can have double Cartman. But y'all know what's gonna happen when I'm playing Gizmo. Boo, boo. See, Dougie was just like such a guaranteed bar there. You can't really stop him. The freeze ray is great to help him. Just like there wasn't like hamsters or something like that. There wasn't super fart that could knock him. There wasn't anything that could stop him other than playing a unit, and freeze ray basically made that like worthless. So here it's a level 2, and I'm just like, I don't want to transmog it because it's only level 2. But since he transmogged mine, I'm just going to transmog his because he's technically at a disadvantage right now. And him playing a card, I mean, the fucking slave was stupid, but I'm not too worried about it. If I would have played the slave one step closer to my new kid so he didn't have to walk to him, he would have stopped him from getting the second shot, but didn't figure it was a big deal because it was a level 3 Dougie. That's why if you're running Dougie, you really got to upgrade him, because it's a high risk, high reward play. And if he's not as effective as he can possibly be, like that, like if he was level 5 even, those gnomes probably would have killed him. But instead, I got an entire second bar. You're welcome, Marcus. So now our slave, oh yeah, this is the this is the battle where this guy never breaks my slave. So another reason why Sizzles isn't a good idea when he's low level is just because, like, this, at least this week, is this reason right here. Doesn't matter how many times he hits slave, there's no way that his 50 damage or whatever it is gonna ever break the slave. So new kid doesn't even break the slave here. So one of the cocks must have hit me and charged me like right before. And I use my AQR up in the corner here because I know that if I kill that cyborg, AQR actually does get taken over. I'm hoping it's maybe the Gizmo. Oh, it was a cock. I guess it was a cock that killed him. So we're just gonna freeze him just to bring the Gizmos home. Oh no, he gets him. The Gizmos. The Glanzer Gizmo. Oh no, that wasn't Glanzer Giz. Dirty Ginger Kid. Dirty Ginger Kid. Beep, 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 beep. They didn't level her ASAP because I didn't want our other. Yeah, no, I should have won. I just got some bad matchups against them. And I had a couple bad luck things where I can't remember what happened, but like somebody was hitting my new kid when they shouldn't have, and I was like, what the fuck? But so there's another Dougie play. It's just hard to stop Dougie this week. So I think, yeah, it probably was a good choice. You had to like waste a DSR or what, like your gnomes, but you kind of want the gnomes to help on defense. Now here, I should have not played it, but the moment he played the Randy, it made it worth it. But I should have not played the Satan so that I could break the heal with it. I should have like let him take a couple hits. But now I'm thinking, like, I'm going back and it's like, I shouldn't have tried to. I should have waited till 10, not played any more cards. But I wanted to stack I was gonna stack the cocks on him. But I was figured, yeah, we could just sit here hitting this guy's slave, and he's forced to play into me, like he is doing now. So it worked out pretty well. If I get one more, oh yes, one more set of cocks, that's great. Now that you see here, the Satan, like, it's just so much health that it's just like definitely the right choice, especially in a week where there wasn't an unholy. If there's unholy, I could say you know, Satan could just get unholy and get fucked, but transmog, you would have had to freeze him first, which is unlikely. Go all right, we get him with the Giz. And I was also frustrated because on my main account I got like 6,000 people, and then Moody's fighting like 8K. Bastards. All right, Neon Angelion. Okay. So I didn't agree with the Cyborg play here, but I guess I did see Cyborg kind of fuck shit up. But you'll see here, I get mine off a little bit first. So we get the slave and we get a couple of hits on new kid, which is nice. We're going to play the CKI up top just because we don't want to commit too much. We're going to see, our mecha is ahead of his mecha. So we're going to DSR just to deal with the slave, because we're going to try to get as much value as we can out of all these cards before they die from the slave, or from the mecha, or not the mecha, from the poison. That I was just trying to get closer to new kid, maybe get some hits on him. It does actually end up working fairly well, because DSR, see, that's why you want to level up DSR, because not only, like, look at that, she ends up taking the bars, right? She's a decent unit when she's got, you know, when she doesn't have to worry about getting like Inkened or something like that, you know. Bacon Bust, welcome back. All right, so Randy hits the new kid here, and that's like like not a bad like aggressive play is to play Randy mid, because he gets the target on the new kid pretty quick, and he has a decent amount of health. And this week there wasn't anything that could really take him down quickly except like a leveled up Cyborg, but most people took Cyborg base. This doesn't really hurt me at all. Leanne going Cyborg for 10 seconds. I was worried it was gonna do enough damage. I think she probably would have only gotten one hit off, but the freeze ray stopped it there. We're gonna play the AQR just to take out the mecha, put a little bit of stress on him here. We do have a pretty leveled AQR, so the level 3 should die. Now, that was actually bad for him. He should have just let that guy walk in further, because now I have Leanne come in against whatever he's going to play against me. And right now, see, he might play into... Oh, if I wouldn't have taken the bar, he would have played right into the Leanne there. So that guy fucked up. Welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing? Happy... I was going to say Sunday, but it's Monday. Happy Manic Monday. Happy human holiday. I don't know. My hair is a floofy fucking mess today. I don't know what's going on. I must have blow dried it. Look at that. It looks like I feathered it. Look at my part. I can part it pretty much anywhere and I get this sick line. Look, I can do it up here. Because the light is the way the light shines, you can see your scalp. I don't know what's happening. Stop it. Okay, it's gonna be floofy today. All right, we hit the AQR on the Belf and the Mecha and the Randy, which is pretty much like that's the best that could possibly have happened, right? Like, that's exactly what you would want to hit. Now, the Dougie comes all the way back to hit me with a charged ability, which is pretty hilarious if you think about it. But the Leanne coming out, we just transmog it. This is why we didn't take Leanne on free-to-play whales, because right there, boom, that's game over. Like, that's game over. There's no coming back from that. If I didn't have transmog, sure, Leanne was the play. But if I can just do that to your 5-cost card, if I have any sort of energy advantage on you, you're fucked. You're fucked. And just like this guy showed, and dude, that was awesome. We freeze him and then we mind control him to take the bar. Oh, we didn't take the bar with him. Go, Gizmo, go! Go, Gizmo, go! Gizmo is definitely the right choice, though, because if you even, like, playing Leanne on defense, you might get a bunch of Gizmos or something with it. Randy was the choice for sure. DSR was definitely the choice over... I think having DSR was better than having Sizzler for sure. Mecha. See, Mecha's a tough... Like, this is the difference between the deck, really, is this, the Cyborg, no Dougie. But that, I mean, that's... The transmog on that means, like, my CKI is open. And he used AQR on the... I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, oh, I'm going to use AQR and then transmog him? What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Like, what is that? This guy's in Legend? Like, this guy's in Legend? This guy's ranked 6,000. Is 6,000 Legend or is it 7,000? I don't remember. It's been so long. So let's freeze ray this bitch. Boom! Oh, we perfectly timed it. We two-shot that bitch. Now, can we survive? Oh! CKI not going to be able to survive. But, oh! Oh, come on, use it, use it, use it, use it. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, no, baby. You failed me, baby. We almost had it. All right, now this isn't a terrible play, but the AQR, very versatile. You got to remember, body block with her. You don't want those gnomes to hit your new kid. Never play that bitch behind you, right? Now the rat or the cocks come out perfectly right when AQR gets mind controlled. I mean, that was just like perfection. Right when AQR gets mind controlled, the cocks come out to stop her from hitting new kid, but the mecha dies to the AQR right time. I mean, that was just beautiful. High IQ right there, baby. Symptomatic sea urchin, welcome back. Prune Tracy, welcome. Good to see you. MLG MVP. Dude, right? That was the worst AQR transmog shit I've ever seen. So here's an example of where the cyborg kind of works out for him. But in retrospect, if he would have waited on that, the cyborg could have just straight up killed the heal on the slave and then actually like dealt with it. As it stands now, my slave's heal is still intact, headed towards his new kid, right? So that was kind of a big mistake. Now my cyborg is just here. I know he already played his gnomes. He doesn't have anything he can do. I'm just kind of trying to keep him from being able to stop the slave. And then slave will just bring us home. So the gnomes come out right to... And it looks like he broke the heal, though. But we freeze him. Now, that was kind of a mistake. I should have waited a second and gotten the Bebe. But slave body blocks. The gnomes don't get killed. And it's an easy takedown. All right, we got throat massager. Pegs, is this your alt account? We got Commander Hat on the adventure lock. Now this week, we only have Satan and Marcus, right? I'm pretty sure that's it. So this AQR is a base level AQR. which means it doesn't do a lot of damage. But it does last forever, right? It does last forever. Honestly, this guy I think gives me the best fight. He's clearly somebody's alt. But my DSR is trapped. I gotta just try to use this fucking the Marcus. There you go. Use the Marcus. Use Marcus. Use Marcus. There you go. Use the Satan. It's our only savior. What am I doing here? Oh, we're just waiting on the Satan. Satan makes it too easy. Go! Go! Oh no! Oh no! The glitch! The glitch! They're attacking nobody! Is Dougie gonna get through? Oh, just in time. The glitch almost cost me the bar, but throat massager, gurgling balls all the way to King Kong. I don't know what that meant. I meant Hong Kong, but then I just watched King Kong and Godzilla, and that movie was fucking lit, man. You gotta check that shit out. Community challenge, 50% complete. Dude, that is taking way too long. Ugh. My eyes are like, I think allergies are getting me. Oh, perfectly stolen. We steal the baby. We go for the new kid. The level 3 doesn't make it. The base new kid, but the baby that we stole kept killing shit and kept healing. Rip. Rip. All right, we gotta wait for those two. Boom, and then we make it. If you do it right, you can stop the gizmos from dying, and the clones will spawn. It's fucking sweet. Godzilla vs. Kong was lit, dude. It was so good. I was like stoked on it the whole time. Once a new kid starts taking those hits, I mean, it's a nice transmog until you play the slave. Yeah. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. I should have just played. Oh shit! Benoit style. Get that shit. Look at that. The slave doesn't kill him. The slave didn't do enough damage, and Bebe, with literally barely enough damage, takes it home. And all I had to do was play the Marcus, but like it was still fun. When I play on this account, I try to like not use my advantage sometimes. I try to play all my base level cards before I like, oh, here's Satan, and then the game's over. Especially when we're in bronze. When we're in silver, it's a wide open ball game because the guy's gonna have good levels, level 4 epics and shit. It's gonna walk all over my base level stuff. So my Satan's gotta save me or something. AQR on this mecha bitch. I don't like it. I don't like it. Commander had him. Do it. Do it. Okay, that's good for me, actually. I would have tried to just kill the baby. Do it. Do it. Uh-oh, this is bad, though. Everybody's just chasing Mecha, but Mecha does die. That's all we needed. We wanted her to die. Although, I don't know why I didn't just, like, play AQR on that. Probably because, like, this was my second game, and the first time I played AQR, it's like, that took so fucking long for her to die. But the DSR level 1 does do work against the slave. Our slave base level, but still killing it. We put the cyborg out just to deal with some of his shit. Oh no, the cyborg kills the cyborg. Ooh boy. Oh boy, we're slowing the cyborg down. All right, cyborg is back into our side. We're gonna get stolen here. Oh no, what's gonna happen? Oh, this could be bad. Oh, do backwards. Why would you play your Lian, you silly fool? So while he's busy dealing with that, we're gonna sneak our Dougie through. The base Dougie, is it enough? One more hit. Oh, it's almost better because then it smokes into the next bar. That's actually really funny. Oh, we just get him. Oh, but the Dougie's gonna come through. That Dougie is gonna take that bar. Whoa, the Lian gets pushed. Bebe gonna get hit now. No, we thought the Bebe was safe in the corner, but she was not. Can we come back? SLBOMM. Suck my bombs. But the cock coming through, getting, like, look at this, guys. Look at this. 257 damage. Marcus can't do that. 211. Marcus can't do that. 165. Marcus, bring out your pillows. So the key when you have the game in hand, when it comes to chip or lightning bolt, whatever it is, you always want to wait till the last possible moment. Because let's say I Marcus him right now and I get the bar, maybe he can counter it and beat me, right? But I waited till I was 10 just to make sure that I could stop. Like, maybe he does this and then he sizzles me and then he stops me from getting, like, it was highly unlikely. Now, I wasted the gnomes here. That was stupid. But in my head, I thought, it's not max 5, but, like, we brought him to level 7, so that was stupid. Now, this guy, boom. Now, this is kind of a mistake, but it does bring Marcus back away from New Kid, which kind of probably saves him long enough to be able to get another pillow off, so it's kind of funny. And now we can sneak the Dougie through for that last little bit of damage. And the, oh no, the Mr. Hat gets mind controlled and starts busting me up. Can you imagine if a mind controlled Mr. Hat killed me? Ugh, that would have been a nightmare. Speaking of nightmares, good segue, Glanzer. Nightmare coming at you. Nightmare 1542. Poor guy. Poor guy. He looks like Roman. The slave midline, feel bad for him, but I mean, this coming from a 1500 rank, I get it. This coming, if it's like 7,000, I'd be like, what the fuck? Ooh, cyborg base, killing Bebe base. That's pretty sick. Fuck this guy. Oh, I should have waited and fucked those cocks up, you know? Smacked them. Smack, smack, smickety, smack, smack, smack. Did any of you guys DSR Gizmo this week and then lose because he was able to create a Gizmo army after you knocked him back? Did that happen to anybody? Oh, I thought that was the Satan, and I was like, oh shit, we're still gonna die, but if it's level 1 Satan, like maybe we'll kill it. I decided to not transmog here. 1, I thought it'd be too late. And 2, I know the level 2 gave me a good chance of one of them surviving, so. Gizmo was the legit shit this week. Dude, Gizmo's the sweetest card. I fucking love that thing. I cannot wait for tomorrow and see what he plays like. I cannot wait to see what his changes will do to him and to his general structure. I'm worried that this movement speed will make him so fast that he won't be able to really make an army, but the way that they spread out, I feel like he'll do overall more DPS because he'll be able to attack easier. And not only that, like when they're all crumpled together, they're all going to try to attack the same thing. But if they spread out horizontally, then if something comes near the one on the edge, he might veer off and go over towards that thing and then spread out the gizmos, which is the biggest thing with the gizmos is if they get spread out, like if you DSR the gizmos and they go sideways, you can't deal with a gizmo. If I could spawn gizmo top and bottom, it would be such a good play. If I could play like 2 gizmos, play gizmo top, play gizmo bottom, that's such a good play. Like that's so much value of top and bottom. So when you see me sometimes and I get my gizmos to survive New Kid and one of them goes to the top corner, one of them goes to like the mid corner, I don't think I've ever not won after that because you cannot, like it's so hard to stop the double gizmo, and you probably already blew your Satan trying to fuck the first ones up, right? Is that increases nuts for common assassin? Yeah, I think I think we're misunderstanding the stats. I don't think it's just you take 50% on all the stat levels. They're just increasing the base by 50% and then it still scales relatively the same. I could be wrong, but I know that we've done this before. Like I can't remember what was it? Like gnomes, we thought were gonna be like the worst card ever. We thought they were gonna have like 20 attack or some shit when we did the math backwards. And they ended up being like way more total attacks than we thought they'd have after that nerf. So I could be wrong because Mackie does seem to have gotten that just straight 30%, but it might depend on the card. I don't know. Maybe it depends on the rarity. Maybe it works for commons that way, but not other cards because of the way that they scale. Like obviously the scale from like epic 3 to 4 is better than 4 to 5 and stuff like that. But yeah, he'll be good for sure. Based on my calculations, and my calculations was just, I'm basing it on the base stat. That's it. I'm speculating on the growth of it. It'll obviously grow, I think, a little less because I'm comparing it to an epic and a rare. He's got almost the exact starting stats as 4-Ass Monkey. So my guess is he'll be a little bit less attack and health than 4-Ass Monkey, which is still good. And with the attack range increase, he'll kind of be like 4-Ass Monkey. He's going to be harder to step. He's going to have a bigger range so he can attack people quicker, which means he can get his attack off more times. Like if most likely if another assassin hits him of equal level, he'll survive the first hit. So he'll hit early, survive the hit, and then get another hit. So like worst case scenario, you're probably gonna get that 1 energy back because you can step with them, and then on the other side you might double step. Well, no, the new kid would finish you off, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. It was 3 years before Gizmo was viable. He wasn't so bad on his last change. I was playing him. You guys saw me play him. But then his most recent change, he got way better. And then this change, I think he's going to get even better. Or maybe this will slow him down a bit. I don't know. I really don't know. I think overall this will be better because the biggest problem that I found with the Gizmos was a card like Medusa one-shot the clones, even at level 4. So once you cloned all those Gizmos, all of them just instantly turn into a rat. When the rat gets spawned, all of your Gizmos stop to try to attack it, and it just slows down your Gizmo push so much that if all the clones now have the same attack as the main clone or the main Gizmo, they're gonna have more health, or the same health. They're gonna have less attack, but they're gonna have more health, or the same health, more health than they have now, but the same health as the original Gizmo. That means it's no longer going to get one shot by that Medusa, which means it's not going to get one shot by the other Bebes. New Kid's going to be a little bit harder to kill it, which means they're going to be much more of an offensive threat, which means we're probably going to get away with that extra speed boost because it's going to be less of a slow play, build a bunch of Gizmos. It'll be more of a quick play, get 4 of them and fuck shit up, especially with Freeze Ray. We'll see. Oh yeah, and Space Pilot Bradley just existing makes Gizmo a better card, right? Because he's the only card in the game that can trigger a Bradley ability infinitely, really. All the other Bradley ability, well, I mean, I guess Elf King Bradley's is kind of just like forever. Time to cook some dinner. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Prune. Appreciate you. All right, let's exit out of that. And so let's move over to talking about next week. I'm looking forward to next week. And we are going to be doing the deck. Let me pull that up. All right, so this week we have a mix of fantasy, mystic, adventure. I believe that's it. Yeah, fantasy, mystic, adventure. And of course, you see here, they added the new card in there. I think that's so stupid. I mean, some teams might take it, but like, God, at least they put tanks in there. What was it? They put like fucking Space Pilot in there one time, and it was like there's like 1 assassin or something. Lava won't work on Gizmo anymore either, right? Lava won't work. I mean, it'll be harder. It'll be definitely harder. One, they'll walk through them faster. I'm curious to see how, like, they're gonna be fast now when the they're gonna be like as fast as like Ike and stuff like that when they're boosted up by Space Pilot. Right now, when you boost them, their attack speed's lower and it's like a percentage thing, so they don't get that much faster. But when you boost Hanky, he's like super speed, right? But when you boost the Gizmos, it doesn't even seem like they're moving any faster. They definitely attack faster, but when they're moving, it doesn't seem like they get much speed. So that's gonna be interesting. They're gonna fuck shit up way more. You didn't acknowledge my 31 months of sub in a row? Oh no, when did you sub? I didn't hear the shenanigans. I didn't hear shenanigans. Thanks for the sub, buddy. Thanks for the sub, baby. Appreciate you. 31 months. Fuck yeah. Let's get some hype in chat. Tier 2 even. Oh, it was right after I was in the middle of games. Give me a break. Pretty sure RL put Call Girl in as a choice with nothing for her to spawn. Yeah. That's what it was. It was Call Girl, and it was like Wonder Tweak or something like that was the only thing you could pull in with him. That's exactly what it was. So stupid. Like, that makes me feel like it's like fucking legitimately random, which kind of frustrates me. Because I would be trying to put some legit choices together, like, ho, do you want this or this? Ho, do you want this to deal with this card or this to deal with this card? Oh, pick of the draw, luck of the draw. And the chin. Hey. Don't talk shit. Okay. Inkin versus Ninju. I like the Ninju. I like the Inkin though. But the problem is the biggest target for Inkin is the Randy down here, right? potentially the Marvin, I guess. But the Randy, also the... Oh, God. Oh, God, you put it over the deck? How dare you? How dare you? Oops. Oops. Hold on, I'll get it. I'll fix it. I'll get you a little Albus. So the... Where'd my thing go? Where'd my card choice highlighter go? There it is. So you really want to be able to kill Randy. You want to be able to kill Belf or Gunslinger, which pretty much every level does. But the problem is that you need max level 4 or base level 5 to kill Randy at base level 5. And I believe max 4, probably max 4 too. I think it's like 100 off. So if you bring the ink in, you're going to have a lot of situations where the...
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure about that, John Cena. That's my favorite one. I might have to turn those off for the weekly update, but it's so funny. Anyway, that one's really funny. He like breaks through the fucking... Anyway, don't do the raid one. That'd be really disruptive. Where are we going? Pegsia. So Inkin's just gonna leave a lot of things with not a lot of health, or with just a little bit of health, and Maxi could heal him up, Regen could heal him up. Just not a very good look this week. So I think your goal is gonna be Ninju and try to Ninju one range with Slave or something like that, right? One range with Dog Poo, or one range with Shield Maiden or Witch Doctor or something like that, right? After, what's up, Murph World? After removal already happened, you don't want to use Ninju until Unholy Combust comes out, because Unholy Combust is the choice here. You could see Lightning Bolts, but like, remember, it's first week of the season for this week, so you're gonna want to save caps everywhere. So running Lightning Bolt, dumb as fuck. Dumb as fuck. So Unholy Combustion, obviously the choice. Oh shit. All right. Let's go this way this time. We've never gone that way. Rats versus Ike. I like the rats. They could potentially feed the Bebe, but that doesn't scare me too much this week, I don't think. But the rats on defense could break the slave, or could break the slave heal, but also the smuggler could get really stacked on, because I mean he was recently buffed. He could get really stacked on the slave or the Zen, so that could be interesting. But I think the rats could have combo potential with the Ninju. The rats could maybe bait something like the fireball. The rats could stop value from hook hand. Rats get gunslinger value. So I think Ned's an obvious choice. So I think, I mean, honestly, I might say it depends on like the cost of your deck. If your deck ends, if you go Inkin, I'd say probably go Smuggler. If you go Ninju, go the rats, because like you get hella value from those rats. Burn through a slave, burn through a maxi, burn through a Zen at New Kid. That's actually probably what I would do. So yeah, I would say rats overall if you bring the Ninju. Otherwise, if you bring the Inkin, you probably want to have that cheat one. You know, you keep the value the same if you bring one less cost. So I think what they should do for Team Wars, guys, is like they should have like one or two characters each week that are like boosted, where like, oh, you have Paladin or Sally, but Sally has 5% movement speed increase or something like that. Like one of them to try to swing it, like Marvin maybe has 100 extra health or some shit. Like Marvin has more health, or maybe Hook Hand throws 2 parrots or some shit like that. Like do something to make it kind of interesting. Adventure Kyle and Rats is sick, dude. I love that play, especially now that Kyle Kyle like lasts a decent amount of time. You used to have to time it so perfectly where the rats would have to be like right there on top of somebody in order to get the value. But now it's so long that you can play it like when the rats are close and they'll immediately start hitting. You don't have to be quite as precise on the timing, so definitely a little bit easier to play. But I think this week Belf is the choice. Belf is almost always the choice, especially when there's swarms out there, and there's going to be swarms, there's going to be cocks, there's going to be rats. There's going to be, you know, easy to kill assassins like Belf, Sally, Ike. And the amount of damage she could do to the potential Starvin' Marvin, and just the value that she gets when you play her with the Elf King Bradley, which is probably going to be the choice. So, I'm like losing my voice right now. So, Belf is the choice there. Although Gunslinger's awesome and probably would have some sick combos, I don't think it's worth it when he's one of the few cards that does die to Inkin, right? And the Belf, after a couple stacks, she doesn't die to Inkin. So, and if she gets the stacks to survive New Kid, we all know that in Team Wars, if you survive a New Kid blast, it's a very, very big deal. You don't want to run the Maxi just because you don't want to give that Unholy Combust value. So you're going to run the Slave, although most likely it'll get combusted. You still get the cocks from it, right? So you'll still get that defense, the little bit of body there to help you defend. So it's not the worst thing that could happen. Obviously, you'll want to try to like defend with the Slave, with the Zen, and then play Slave after they remove the Zen or something like that. But yeah, you'll want to try to protect the Slave from the removal, but otherwise it's a good card. Paladin's probably the choice here. We all know that shield can win games. You get that shield on even one rat, you can win the game, right? Randy's the choice. Ned isn't very good, and nobody's gonna have him leveled to a meaningful level anyway. That's the last slot we're gonna do. Unholy's the choice for sure. I think Regen Base is the choice this week. Like I said, you're gonna want to save caps. Zen is good. You could save some caps, bring Zen to 5. Probably would be just fine. If you want to run Starvin' Marvin, obviously we'll play him in the Adventure Lock, but Elf King Bradley, not bad. Gonna be well paired with the Ninju'd whatever, right? Ninju gets the boost, plus Bebe gets the boost, or Randy gets the boost. So that's really your goal there too. And you obviously you want to play where you're not giving... I gotta like rub my eyes, they're killing me right now. You want to play where you're not getting the value for the fireball, so you never want to put your well, one, definitely don't put your range close enough to Slave where they could clear Slave's heal with the fireball and kill like your Randy or something like that. Always try to prevent that from happening. But obviously don't play your Randy right next to your Bebe. Like, don't do that shit. Don't put Ninju right next to Bebe or something like that. Just keep your cards spread out. And when you play Ninju, it's almost always the best to play him top middle, like top midline, because it forces him to play somebody against that guy while they have to struggle to figure out your ninju'd cards, the cards that you actually ninju'd. Ninju has so much health that if he gets on a level 14 New Kid, there's literally nothing in this deck other than a Unholy Combustion or a Lightning Bolt that would stop the Ninju from taking the bar. I don't think. You could ink in him, I guess. You could kill him with rats pretty quick, but Ninju's gonna get a couple hits off if he has health. And when he's up on top, he'll ride the top line, and it's really easy for him to avoid everybody and just start hitting New Kid. So he survives the blast, so it's definitely better to do that than to try to, like, unless you need his health to defend your New Kid or something like that, then you're good. But if you already have Zen down there or something like that, put him topside. Fuck him up. Fuck him up. Old school meta, yeah. Little gimmicks for some cards, yeah, that'd be interesting. Just give it a little bit more. Maybe not every week, but like this week for this guy, you could have, oh, it's a release weekend. If you pick him, he will be level 5 for everybody in the entire game. If you have him level 6, he'll be level 6. But if everybody gets him at level 5. So on a first week, it might be a good pick because you save all those caps. He's level 5. You don't have to level up Randy. Not bad, right? Not bad. So I think something like that might make it like, it might make it so they don't look like complete fucking morons when they play, like, oh, everybody's got Amazingly Randy this week. Everybody's got Amazingly Randy. You better have something to deal with him. Stupid. And that's another thing. The fireball has to be leveled high enough to kill the Randy, or else it's also worthless. So I don't know if base works. Level 4 Randy is greater than level 7 Ned. Yeah, exactly. No shit, dude. Level 3 Randy's probably better. The cocks that you get alone are worth more value. Like when I spawn, if you go just by like health created alone, when I spawn 2 cocks from Randy, it's as much. It's like getting healed from like 15 Ned hits or something like that. Like the amount of health that gets out there when I just put 2 cocks out, even if they're level 4, it's 200 health or something like that. It's a lot. 200 plus. Fucking cocks. Okay. Like I was saying, Bradley's the choice. Marvin on the adventure lock, obviously, but the value you're going to get there is just going to be bonkers. And yeah, especially if you have Bradley in your push by New Kid that's defending, and then you put the ninja on the top side, that ninja's going to have that extra range, and it's going to make it even more detrimental. Hook hand versus dog poo. Now, we all love that hook hand smoking that Randy, smoking that Incan, whatever it might be. But it's the same stats pretty much, and the same cost, same caps, and dog poo can break the slave heal. Dog poo can tank bust the maxi or the zen, or I guess the sheriff. Dog poo one-shots cocks, which is actually kind of important. He could quickly dispatch a Bebe at midline. He could deal with the other assassins in one shot. Like he does a lot. So I think dog poo's definitely the choice this week, which is pretty cool because he's usually not the fucking choice. And then this one I think might be the most different choice of them all. At face value, Witch Doctor's not that great, but he's just not great in the current meta because so much of the current meta deals with him. Powerbind, burst damage from the slave, the Incan, stuff like that. It just he's very different. Mind control all over the place too. Freezes, sizzlers, that kind of stuff. He's just, Witch Doctor is easy to deal with. And then Shield Maiden, that 3 cost, super easy. You could fucking protect from the hook hand with your shield, protect from the stacked Ike with your shield, protect from Incan Blast, Incan Blast or Fireball with the shield. So a lot of value there. The 3 cost, obviously, very, very, very useful. And the deck is fairly fat when you're looking at the Slave, the Ninju, the Randy, the Unholy, the well, I guess from there it's all 3 costs. So it's not, I guess the Witch Doctor's probably fine at 4 slot because you don't really have a 4 cost fighter slot. So that it does fit in that slot, but the Shield Maiden is just so versatile, right? She gets on New Kid with the shield, that's 2 bars almost, right? But Witch Doctor, there is nothing to deal with him this week. To the point where you almost have to unholy combust him. And then if you do that, how do you stop Slave? Right? So I could see Witch Doctor being the choice too. Especially you get a ninja on that bitch, and like he's got a charge, he's halfway to New Kid, you ninja him. Anything he plays, like he could play hook hand and try to get the hit on him with hook hand. That's the only thing I can think. You could play Gunslinger up top and try to get your ability off so that New Kid can kill Witch Doctor. But man, Witch Doctor will be hard to deal with. But Shield Maiden, same thing. Shield Maiden's tough. Range and Incan and Witch Doctor's done. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons Witch Doctor isn't good, is because of the extra. But I don't think we'll see a lot of Inkins, man. And if we do see them, I think they'll only be base 3, base 4. They might not even chunk me. If you bring Witch Doctor, you'd probably want to bring Fireball, though, to kill those range so that they can't stop Witch Doctor, right? So if they play Bebe to defend, and then when I get to New Kid, they put Ike out, I Fireball and hit Ike and Bebe, and my Witch Doctor's on New Kid with his charge, and I have regen in my hand. Oh, never mind, I don't have regen. But I could bring Maxi in that case. Then you really force the Unholy on the Maxi, and Witch Doctor, you don't have to worry about the Unholy. But I guess just the chance that Hook Hand could hit my Witch Doctor and prevent me from getting damage off, or the chance that somebody could have Gunslinger and get enough burst damage, or Fireball me even. Fireball could stop the Witch Doctor. I think Shield Maiden's just much more versatile. She's gonna be the better pick. For sure, I think. I don't think you're gonna see as many Witch Doctors as I think. After I've thought about it, I don't think it's gonna be a pick. And especially this week, you know, you're not gonna have as many caps as you need. And Shield Maiden level 3 does a hell of a lot better than Witch Doctor level 3. That's for goddamn sure. I mean, Witch Doctor 3, I don't even feel like you should play the card at all. He's so underwhelming at that level that it's just not even worth it. If he doesn't like murder things with his ability, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. All right. I'm losing my voice. Why am I losing my voice? I think I'm losing my mind. Guys, I don't think I'm going to be able to do the Scott voice tonight. Savage, the only reason you're here, and I'm not going to be able to do it. No. Oh, actually, I should probably pull the weekly update up, huh? Didn't even look at it. I figure it's the same balance changes as last time. And not much else. Witches and stitches, baby. All right. Scott voice, Scott voice. I should do like a channel point thing where like I have to talk in Scott voice live on the stream for like 5 minutes or something like that. Oh my god, Pegs, thank you so much for the fucking sub. Developer update. Witches, bitches, and stitches. Welcome in. So it looks like we have interesting event. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday event. Strange. But we will be finishing the Ned event after the weekly update, so make sure you stick around. We'll be playing a little South Park. And then we'll play some Stream Raiders as well, probably. But we have events all week this week, which I'm down for. Anyone who's like, oh, I don't want events Wednesday, Thursday, because then I can't play challenge mode. It's like, well, just fucking pick one. Pick one. Why you gotta do them both? There's some people who would prefer one over the other, so let them choose, and then you have to choose.
Jimmy James 267 wants to say, Scott voice. Scott voice. Scott voice. Scoot.
Scoot. Scoot. Scoot. Scoot. That's hilarious. Scoot me. Scoot me. You should have seen that one coming. Come on, is this the first time you've ever text to speech? But it's a mission event. It's a mission event on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for Leanne, which is pretty good. A lot of people probably still have her level 4, so I'll be grinding that on the alt for sure. Chaos mode, the pirates rule. All pirates will cost 1 less and have boosted stats. So fucking, dude, Captain Wendy, 2 cost, boosted stats. She's gonna be a dynamo this week. I might play just for that. Also, 2 cost Pirate Ship Timmy, pretty damn good too. 2 cost Hook Hand, not bad. 1 cost Calamity Heidi. Wait, is Calamity Heidi? No, she's like Calamity Jane. She's a cowboy. She's a cowboy. All right. Card usage choice with Butters. All right. Over the weekend. Let's see what we got. Call Girl. Super. Dark Mage Craig. Ooh, that could be fun. That could be fun. Imp. Scout. Okay, we get to see Scout at max 7 after the boost. So that's nice of them. Did they put the other stuff they boosted or changed? What else did they change? Well, let's check. Gizmo, Classi, Scout. Nope. That's dumb of them. They should do that. Why would they not do that? Come on, man. Think outside the box. But if you didn't know, the boosts Classi is going to get an increase in her health. She's also going to get a stun with a radius of 1.5, which isn't too good, but it lasts for 2 seconds, which is pretty good. So that basically circumvents the problem that she has where she gets her enrage, she has all that attack, but by the time she's done with her fucking enrage timer, she's already been murdered. And maybe she gets one hit off. Like, you're trying to get one hit off with Classi right now if you're trying to get good Classi. Like, that's pathetic. Now, extra health, little stun in there. Definitely gonna be a fun addition to like the stun deck, right? Put a freeze ray in there too, so you stun him and then you freeze ray him and then you warboy tweak him. Oh baby, that could be fun. All right, we have Gizmo Ike. So I don't know, it's hard to talk about what he's gonna do. There's so much about him. So his movement speed is increasing. That includes him and the clone. His clone is keeping the health of the original, but still lowering the attack. And then they're just gonna change the spawn location. So the clones will spawn things below, and the original one will spawn things up. So like the clones could like slowly start stepping in one direction as you get more clones out, right? So you might see. Well, I guess if you play Gizmo in the middle, it might go the opposite way. You'd have like a conglomeration of them here, and then they'd like tail out. That might be really interesting. I'm gonna try that with like Santa and just see what kind of crazy. I'm wondering, like, if I'm on the wall and I use it, am I gonna get pushed? Who's gonna get pushed? Is the unit gonna get pushed? Is that gonna impact? I think the biggest impact that will have is that, like, usually it goes in front of Ike, kind of, and that Ike gets pushed back. So if that Ike is getting hit, he might actually survive because he spawned that clone, which is kind of like good for me. But at the same time, that clone reaches out and stuns somebody in front of me further than probably should when you have Space Pilot, that is. So I think they're thinking about the Space Pilot interaction a bit there too. And then Scout Ike, who might have really good attack and defense, but I think it'll be like I said, 4S monkey range. It could be really good. We all know they suck at this shit. But he's also increasing his attack range by 50%, which is that's actually pretty crazy. I don't know where 0.7 is, but 0.7 has to be fairly close to Monkey. I think Monkey might be 0.75. Somebody can check on SPPD Replay for me. Let me know what that is. And instead of getting a charge ability where he uses the charge and he gets one energy back, it's going to be more in line with what Assassin's there for, to attack. So instead of having to interrupt your Assassin damage to do that fucking charge animation, you're going to get energy every time you attack. So it's got a higher upside, I feel. If you get a rogue Zen on your side and you can get 6-7 attacks before he's dead, I mean, that's some of the best energy you're going to ever get in this game, short of, you know, double Hermes at overtime with staff out, right? But yeah, I mean, if you get 2 energy back and Scout is only technically worth 1 energy, and he got enough value where he got that 2 energy back, which means he got like 4 hits off, 5, 6 hits off, however much energy you get. That's pretty damn good. So he's going to be useful, I think. I wish it would have been something that could have synergized with the staff, though. I wish it would have been like every hit you gain increased energy for 1 second, and it does stack. Or maybe it's just it's for the time between the time that it would take for Ike to attack. So like if it's a second, then it lasts for a second, and then if you get speed boosted, it stacks a little bit, right? So you could have it stack and get a little bit of extra energy. Maybe that would be too much, but I just think there needs to be more than just Hermes that couples with the staff. And at the same time, there needs to be cards that like Prophet Dougie impact your energy, like stop your energy, remove energy. Maybe a card that while that card's out, all your enemies' cards cost more or some crazy shit like that. That'd be kind of crazy. That'd be crazy. Except spells, right? So maybe spells cost the same, but units cost more or something. Maybe just range units cost more. Maybe assassins cost more when he's out. That would make more sense. You know. All right. So yeah, that's that. And then Nymph Nicole will be in circulation. So pretty good, pretty good. So that's the balance changes. Now let's go in and see what people think about them. A lot of people's thoughts and prayers for this was last week. So if you want to check that out, head over to my YouTube at Glanzer Gaming and check out last week's video, and you'll be able to see more of the discussion on these, because I mean, the first time they were revealed was last week, so there's gonna be more talk about them that week, obviously. Great balance changes, exactly what the player base has asked for. Awesome job. I feel like that's sarcastic. But the player base doesn't need to ask for balance changes for those cards to be changed. It's typically not just the way that people's minds work. The community isn't asking to boost Gunslinger, to boost Classi, to boost. They're not asking that. They're asking to nerf the strong cards, which is an important thing to know. You know, if the community truly has a big opinion on something, it's usually not because they're all stupid, right? Like, everybody getting mad at Pope Call Girl, it's because it's a bad combo, right? It's like it's too good, right? So everybody understanding that that's bad, right? Everybody's like, people thinking Sam should be nerfed might just need to figure out how to deal with Sam, because like most of the time I take him out because he's more of a liability nowadays than anything, because the motherfucker just gets mind controlled every time and he just kills my guys. Fucker. We need Revival Warcry nerf. Yep, I agree. Rev units can't do their Warcry ability. Yeah, but I mean, that is the fucking card. I'm so torn on that, because like, you might as well just take Dark Angel Reg out of the game then, because that is the whole point of her card, is to trigger the Death Wish or the thing twice. That is the whole fucking idea. But the problem is that all these Warcry cards are so good. Ninju, Inkin, they're so good. It's tough. It's tough. I get it, but then I'm also torn, because like, I feel like that's just the fundamental, that is what that card is fundamentally there for. And I think that's a cool ability. Double Warcry, double Death Wish, right? I mean, if there was a card that you could play, like, I don't know if it's a unit you could play that while that unit's out, Warcries go twice or something like that. Can you imagine how fucking bonkers that would be? Or maybe like, after I play this card, the next Warcry card I play goes twice or something like that. I don't know. It just sucks. It's just bad. Was that sarcasm? I think that's talking to the first guy. My alt account is a new kid 24. 7K, I'm constantly facing cards that I face on my main, which is at new kid 25. Okay, well, that's just because at level 21, 7K, they might just be getting level 4 legends, whereas 85, new kid 25, they might be right on the cusp of level 25 or level 5 legends, right? Maybe it's like 14 out of 16 versus 2 out of 16. So like, they're vastly different in their experience in the game. So they're probably better or worse players in general. Maybe they played their ladder deck fairly well, so you can't really tell. But I think, I don't know if you can really just call them D-ranking necessarily, because they could just be bad at the game, right? I don't know how you can really know for sure whether somebody's a D-ranker, because just because you have a bunch of level 5 legends in your deck, or level 4s, or whatever it is at that place, just because they have those levels doesn't mean it's a good deck, or doesn't mean that your deck can't just happen to be the counter to it, you know? Like, if you're running a high removal cock magic DSR deck, and they're running a really heavy adventure mystic deck or some shit, and you just catch them with the right removal, maybe snipe their Pope or something, their levels don't matter, right? So like you can outplay them just by luck, sort of, with your draw and getting the right removes at the right time. Happens. The value of many cards is mostly lost if you remove the Warcry. Yep, I agree. If I were to advocate to a change to revival mechanics, it would be a prevent chain revivals. Typically Pope Call. Yeah, I agree. Yep, I agree. But it's a slippery slope to start picking, choosing like that. No, it's not. Henrietta already can't be revived by Pope because they understood how fucking bonkers broken that would be. Why don't they understand that that's the same exact interaction with Call Girl, basically? Except Call Girl is almost more guaranteed to bring you value than poping back Henrietta, because poping back Henrietta, I have to hope that my goth kids don't die in between that time, right? If you're facing players at 8.5k, how are they D-ranking? You're in the spot. I think he meant with his main account. Obviously the game is dying and there aren't, that's not true. That's not true at all, man. The game is definitely not dying. I mean, there's multiple teams in bronze and silver. I mean, there's so many teams in silver. There's so many teams in gold, 50 people per team, 40 people per team, 30 people per team, whatever it might be. I mean, there's a lot of people that play this game, man. There is a lot of people that play this game. They're not all on the forums. They're not all watching streams and shit. But there's a lot of people that play this game. There's a lot of people that play this game that have no idea that people make content. They might think, oh, people don't make content for mobile games. They just don't even, they have no idea. Those cards have been almost nerfed in Oblivion. Even if enough is crying for nerfs, it never ends with you guys until you get what you want. Yeah, exactly. What is competitive teams, so we don't really need another nerf to change the entire meta again. What? We don't need to bleed off any more players tired of investing time and energy in the game. That, I mean, that's not something you worry about. If people are leaving because their cards got nerfed, they're fucking stupid. They're stupid. They have a naive understanding of how this game works and how games like this work. And when they purchased that thing, they had to understand that it's like buying a stock. It's a volatile commodity. It could be the greatest card one day, could be the worst card the next day. It's an investment. You're buying it with the hopes that it stays good, or with the hopes that it gets better if it's bad. Same thing, no different. It's like buying Michael Jordan cards. Like, you're not buying them because you want to, unless you're a collector, obviously, but you're not buying them from a money perspective to just put them on your fucking wall. No, you're gonna try to flip it for more money. D-ranking is just a thing you have to learn to deal with. Yeah, and a lot of the times it's not D-ranking, it's just that guy doesn't play the game very much. You think he's D-ranking, but that's the first game he's played in 2 weeks, right? So like, the game will never die. Yeah, the game's not dying. Like, but it's more Outcast from all the other games that I play. It's more dynamic than any of those games. Like, there's more new, even just they had added a new card 2 days ago. So like, anybody claiming that there's not like fresh content and stuff like that should go over to these other games that I play that haven't had a new card in months, or have only had 2 cards since I started 2 years ago, or only 2 cards since I started, or since like the game released. They had their initial 60 and then they've released 2. Like, so we're very spoiled over here for sure in comparison to similar games. Events will always be worse, and certainly more lopsided depending on the degree at which you can capitalize on boosted cards. That's true. As relative strength of one's deck options to the general population can swing pretty strongly away from others at your elo. Yeah, for sure. Because if you have like 1 level 5 epic, and then on an event all of a sudden you have a deck with 5, like, that's going to really impact your elo. If you wanted to implement a different means of matchmaking, one may to devise a means of deck level. Anybody that thinks of this is just so stupid. How can you not understand how easily manipulatable that would be based on summing assigned values of each card and their level? Okay, how could you possibly assign values to these cards? How could you possibly assign value? How? Cost alone? There's no way. Cost and rarity? Rarity doesn't dictate whether it's a good card or a bad card. There are common cards that are better than epic cards at the same cost. There are rare cards that are better than common cards that are worse than legends that are better than epics. Like, it's not a linear distribution of stats, so you can't possibly put numbers to them. How are you gonna put a number on Classi and then put a number on Incan? Like, how are you possibly, and then on top of that, you have to understand that Incan's gonna get Darred. Like, how are you possibly gonna give Dar a value when it's dependent on what you use it on? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. There's no possible way that you could take deck strength based on levels or whatever and possibly matchmake in a meaningful way. There's no way. There's no way. And if you did it like this, people would just manipulate it. The people would have the best matchups would be people who, not like me, who have their whole fucking deck maxed out. It would be people who could put a level 1 DSR in that haven't upgraded it, like, who could run a level 1 mecha or something like that, get their rank skewed heavily because of that, but still basically do the value that card has to do. You know that that's how this works. Unholy doesn't have to be anything above level fucking 1. Transmog doesn't have to be level 1. You have people who might have better decks and better matchmaking because they didn't upgrade cards, and you think that's a good fucking idea? What fucking planet are you on that you think that's a good idea? There's no possible way. I've played games where they do deck strength and stuff like that, but most of the time those are fucking those are AFK. You're playing against an AI. Like, it does, who cares? Of course, yeah. Match me up against someone with relatively the same strength. Doesn't matter. They're not playing their fucking things. They can't outskill me, right? It should be just a stat grind at that point. It should be match me up against something with an arbitrary amount of value against me. That makes sense. But this game, that doesn't make any sense. And then you put new kid value in there, which could be completely from donations. You could literally have an account. Well, I don't know about literally here. I wonder how far you could go if you had a level 1 account that never upgraded a card and just donated. Or maybe don't, like, upgraded just 12 cards, one deck, never changed, just that one deck. Maybe they get to, like, I'm curious what level you could get if you hit donation limit every day since release. There's no way you could get to 25 on that alone. Mobile Legends Bank. I don't think I've checked out Mobile Legends. There's a couple of those that I've wanted to check out, but if the game hasn't just started, I don't get it. I don't really get into it. If the game's not fairly new, I don't like getting into it because you get behind. You get behind, and kind of the only way to catch up is to spend, and then you're kind of forced to spend, and yeah, it's just not a good look. But yeah, deck level, I just can't imagine it being good. I mean, in these same games that they go by deck level, these guys will put in one card. It's a team of 5. They put in one card at level 280, which is max level, and then it gets matched up against a group of 5 that are all level 180. But the difference in levels between 280 and 180 is so astronomical that one level 280 can just roll through the other ones. It's so easy to exploit deck level, man. It's so easy. Heroic does it all right, but the only reason Heroic does it okay is because, like, there's no cards that work at low level. There's just not. So you can't, like, exploit it that way. But it also includes, like, your strength of your artifacts, your equipment, your heroes, your spells, all sorts of shit. You should start a new account and see how far I can get with one deck. Well, but the problem would be, like, how would I'd have to try to get all the cards first, right? Or I'd be, like, gimped on what I could pick. I mean, I could, because obviously early on you'd only have sci-fi. I don't know. I don't like this game enough to, like, grind out and try to, like, perfectly play a level 1 cards and shit like that. Too many other games to play, man. I've created slots, but I also had top donations week in, week out. Nice. Nice. You're always buffing and nerfing cards that anyone was asking for. That's kind of the idea. It's their goal to try to get cards that nobody is thinking about, put them back in the zeitgeist. I've brought these cards to attention. Oh yeah, so Pope, Timmy, Dar, and Call Girl. Brought to their attention. If it wasn't already on their attention, that's ridiculous. Your CG math is incorrect. You are conflating card cost and card value. Pope is a 6 cost card with a 3 body value on his own, plus a 3 value revival effect. Dude, this guy is so stupid. What do you mean a 3 value revival effect? Call Girl is a 6 cost card with a 3 body value. One, I disagree. She's easily 4 cost. And her own plus a 3 value summon effect. That, dude, what are you talking about? A 3 value. What? Like you're cutting her cost? What are you talking about? It makes literally no sense. I made sure I said that. Ooh, there's 4 pages. All right. All right. All right. Is it just going to be everybody yelling about that guy's stupid math? Anyway. Kuhn's 5 cost card with a 4 body value on his own. He's actually over cost value. Even with another superhero in the field, he is still worse than other 5. This, dude, you don't. That is not how you look at. That is not how you look. See, he's trying to do exactly what I said is impossible to do. You can't fucking possibly give these cards values like that. 3 value revival? What are you fucking talking about? I can bring back fucking a 5 cost card. What are you talking about? Call Girl, I can bring back this card. Or Pope, I can bring back this card. Pope, I could bring back a 7 value card. With Call Girl, I could bring back fucking... Or with Pope, I could bring back this card, which brings back this card. What are you talking about? But MJR is 5 cost and value 5? Why? Why? He would be 4 cost until he got one ability off, and then he's 5 cost, right? It doesn't make any sense to do this. What this guy is doing is a waste of fucking time. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So if Call Girl pulls Kuhn, that's 6 costs for a value of 10 on the field. I mean, it's 11. How can you say that it's not 11? It's like, that's how much energy I would have to spend to put those 2 cards on the field. You can play Call Girl and nothing happens, bro. You can play Call Girl and not pull somebody in. You realize that? So then if I need to play Kuhn after that, I have to play 5 energy to replicate the same thing that 6 energy did. I have to spend 11 energy to do the same thing that 6 energy just did. How can you possibly say that that's 10 energy on the 10 value on the field? This is what I'm talking about. It makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense. It makes no fucking sense. Ugh. The most imbalanced play is actually Pope, Call Girl, General Disarray, because you get the 3 cost from the lava. Bro, that is not how this shit works. He must be autistic, dude, because he is just looking at the world in a way that does not make sense. What does Scott have to say about that, LOL? When are we getting updates to TVT? It's the main focus of the game, with very little movement on the rankings as teams have built up 2 years worth of crowns. I mean, this week there was a little bit of movement. He should have hard TVT reset and a fresh... That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard, though. Because, like, at this point, you can't fucking do that. You could do that to start, sure. I honestly think it should have been like a rolling 1 month series, like a league, where every month you do the bracketing like you have now, but then you give the teams points. You don't give teams points based on how they perform in the bracket, because that's arbitrary, random, based on what you bracket up against, right? You do it based on their overall points. You give them points. You just fucking add all their points together, which gives everybody incentive to stay as high as they can, and whoever has the most points at the end of that month wins that month's league. Put me on the fucking design team. But this is what I'm saying. You can't do that now. You cannot change it to do that now. Like, You can make big changes in games, but not something like that. You cannot change the fundamental ladder working system and just like wipe it out after the top 50 teams have been striving for it. Like not even considering the top 10 who rightfully deserve to be at the top 10. We're talking about teams who have pride at being top 20, top 25. There's people on Facebook posting with the big, like the most pride in anything maybe in their life short of their kids, that they're on their team got to top 50 this week in gold or something like that. Like there's a lot of levels to this game, and every single one of you that's here right now or watching on YouTube is probably in the top like 10% of players in this game. Even looking for content puts you at the upper echelon of people watching content, watching the weekly update. That puts you way up there in the echelon of like players and stuff like that. So to think that like to reset it completely would be in anybody's real benefit, it's just like, imagine how many of the top players would be so upset with that they would quit. Why? That is so dangerous to do something like that. Wally, what's up? You're 1%? Yeah, exactly. There are probably 600 teams in gold now. I don't think there's that many. Namblos floats in and out, right? So Namblos, I think when we float in, we're like 300, something like that. So I think it's about 300. I could be wrong. But yes, higher league should happen though. It should be like top 100 teams are in that league or something. Top 50 teams, but not like arbitrary amount of crowns, because crowns don't go down unless you're a fucking dummy and managing your team like an idiot. Your crowns aren't going to go down ever. So they're gonna slowly go. Even if you get 4th place, you still get 10 crowns overall. So it's a slow process, but you're like, I mean, they go down like slow, but not like, they don't keep going down, right? They fluctuate up and down a bit, but it's like, it's always trending upward overall. So all these teams that are getting first, all these teams that are getting 1st, 2nd, or 3rd every week. So all you need to do, just don't get 4th, 5th every week. Get 1st, 2nd, or 3rd every week, which is most fucking teams. They're gonna go up in the ladder board. So if it's like, oh, we're gonna open up platinum for everybody above 1,500, well, eventually everybody's gonna be above, or 15,000. Everybody's gonna be above 15,000, and then we're gonna be at the same fucking problem. So they gotta put it at a breakage point. So then that fight between like the 51st team and the 50th team is gonna be fucking crazy, because that's gonna be the difference between platinum rewards and gold rewards every week, right? Or every week, right? That was a hard sentence for me to say. Every week, right? Please tell me that next month Dar and Pope are on the list. Yep, I hope so. And Inuit, please. Really annoying walking combust card is making this game 10 times more mundane. Fucking play Aerostorm, dummy. Dar Ink and Combust LB Inuit players is really annoying, and I'm not smart enough to figure out how to deal with them. It's impossible to get even a bar because any large card you play is just removed. Stop playing large cards. You think you need large cards to get a fucking bar? What? 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 And really forces you to play a like for like deck. No, if you don't want to lose to the meta, yeah, you got to play the meta or a counter meta that ends up being the meta because it counters the fucking meta. The meta is never one thing. The meta is a couple things because one of them really counters the other one. The other one deals with everything else, but that one deals with that one really well, right? So there's almost always one or two or three or four things that kind of work and are understood to be the best options in any game ever. Dar Ink and Combust LB Inuit. I mean, that's a typical that would be in every single Mystic Fantasy, that would be in every single Mystic Adventure deck ever. Like if you make a Mystic Adventure deck right now and you don't have Dar, Incan, Combust, Lightning Bolt, Inuit, then you shouldn't be playing Mystic fucking Adventure right now. What the fuck are you talking about? Of course they're gonna have those cards. Those are like the quintessential fucking Mystic Adventure cards. Lightning Bolt to snipe the Pope mostly, or the Psalm. Combust for the big targets. Incan for the small shit. Inuit for the sizzles and shit like that. And Dar to double the Incan or double the Psalm or whatever else it might be. Of course those are gonna be in there. You wanna know the best part? Aside from Incan, not a single one of those cards has to be leveled up. I guess Lightning Bolt does. Lightning Bolt does. But everybody's got Lightning Bolt at least 6, right? If I wanted to hear game complaints, I'd tune into Haze Demon. Different themes of TVT month based on Battle Pass and new cards. If you want to be a banger TVT, you might want to purchase some of those new cards. But you're right to late to implement total TVT. Yeah, it's just, you can't rework it completely. You just can't, especially the leaderboards and shit. You can outplay Dart, Incan, Pope, Satan if you play smart. Yeah, I mean, I kill people's Incan or Medusas faster than they expect constantly in their Dar whiffs. Like, that's how you stop the Dar. Know what they're gonna Dar and kill it fucking quickly. Make them look like a fucking fool. Oop spam the fuck out of them when they fuck that up. It's hilarious. And what about superhero low cost cards? It's impossible to beat this when they use Pope Call Girl. I will admit that's I gotta agree with Mr. Scott there. That is real bullshit. It requires 0 skill. I'm gonna say it doesn't require 0 skill. You still gotta Pope the Call Girl, which isn't always easy. Like, she's gotta be the last thing that dies. But I mean, typically she is, because she's, you know, in the back, so it is what it is. But if you're smart, you'll try to kill other things first. And they're playing staff all energy to get plus 200 damage Coons in the same time frame it costs to play 1/5 cost. I mean, just don't let Coon hit you. Once Coon starts attacking, put somebody between him, and then he'll just waddle all the way around your card. Maybe Dar reviving units, but only to a lower level. No, that's stupid too. To a lower level, then at base level, it's the fucking same. You understand that base level is a level they have to balance, right? Like, changing the level of a card doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, Pope could just revive him 1 less level. What? What? Why would that help? Then I'm just gonna start reviving shit that doesn't get impacted by a level change. Like, oh man, guys, when I bring my Ninja back this time, it's only gonna have 100 attack instead of 115 attack. I definitely don't want to Dar at this. What are you talking about? That wouldn't fucking impact anything. That wouldn't change anybody's mind on whether they would summon the card or not. You want to know why? Because the card is basically fucking free. So I don't care if it's level 1. It's still probably fucking worth it. If you nerf Sizzle, it'll be time to quit the game. What? You can't buff cards, make special offers, and then nerf them back to old stats, or even worse. That's a scam. No, that is the way these card games work. And if you don't understand that and you think that's a scam, then fucking leave. That's like going to a fucking pinball alley and paying a bunch of money, not winning any tickets, and getting fucking mad. Be like, bro, I put money in. I expected to get that big fluffy fucking prize up there. What is going on here? Oh, bro, you played like dog shit, buddy. You don't get any, sorry. That's just how the game works. They're fucking virtual cards. If you expected them to be the same, the moment you bought them, then the only reason you fucking bought them was because they were too good. Fuck. They're not willing to give a bar to get a win that leads to stale gameplay. Yeah, dude. They defend mid and shit. They're just bad. And to be honest, you really need every single player. Only 100k active Android players compared to over 1 million downloads isn't really much. Are you fucking stupid? Do you have any idea how much 100k active people is? you have any fucking idea how many people that is? Active per day? That means if it's per week, even per month, it's not the same 100K people every time. That's probably, and a million downloads. They have way more than a million downloads. I've probably contributed 1,000 of those fucking downloads. Number of downloads, number of downloads compared to current active users, which by the way, there's no way he knows that stat. Amount of active Android players is not it's not a stat that you can really look at and see and quantify it, because the only thing you're gonna see is like that game center's like stats for it. It doesn't mean every time I play the game, Google Play knows I play it and it puts it on a thing and you can just go and see that. No, those are protected stats. You can't just find out how many people play a mobile game. If you ask Toller, she's not gonna fucking tell you. That's an important thing to keep like to yourself, kind of. Like, you don't want people to know that, because then if there is a situation where less people play, and it could just be, oh, less people are playing, like, I don't know, maybe it's a fucking Tuesday or something, people will be like, oh no, the game's dying, oh no, the game's dying. It's just like, why would you fucking care even? But anyway, 100,000 is still a lot. Like, a lot. It's a lot. Game can survive just well on just 100,000 active people. There's games, the other games that I play, World War Do, Champion Strike, they have maybe 1,000 active people. I'm not even shitting you. They have maybe 1,000, and they have a pretty robust player base. I can play on my Adventure Lock account at 8,000 for 2 hours and not play the same person twice. On these other games, if I play for 2 hours, I'm playing the same people 10, 20 times. Not lying. Seriously. If I play Brawl on a Sunday, there's literally like 4 people playing, and like you'll just cycle through those 4 people. It's fucking crazy. And you think the game's dying? Focus on fixing bugs. That is not what you do in software development. You triage them, you impact analysis, and if it's not worth the fucking time, you don't fucking focus on it. You put it into a release down the line, but you don't like ninja fix it in a hotfix or something. Take like a day and research how software development works. Just one day. Just one day. Day in the life of a software developer. Multi-Jesus spawn. That's, honestly, it's probably a connection issue, and there's not a whole lot they could probably do about that, honestly. That's an issue with just the way that that card works. They'd have to completely fundamentally change how it works. I hope they change. I hope they fix it, though. I've never seen it happen. It's never happened to me, and I've never seen it happen. You want to know what that means? That means it's a fucking network issue, because my shit is always pristine. I'm pristine as my frames drop on stream. Showing lockers after losing a match without watching ads. Why would you be mad at that? Double mind controlled units walking backwards. That's a weird lag thing where the unit's actually mind controlled, but it's a visual thing where the unit actually is mind controlled, but it seems like it's not. Like, we've all seen that where the unit's over here, but like we know the unit's actually hitting my new kid because it got mind controlled. Units reviving after being hit, another lag issue. Tough, but happens. I'm not sure how you fix that either. Units getting back health after being hit. That's just a visual thing, disconnect between the server. Like that one, there's no fixing that. My dog poo hit you, but in reality, my dog poo died. So in your client, the dog poo value hit down, but in reality, that didn't happen. So when your dog poo actually tells the server, hey, this is how much health I have, the server's like, oh, hey, I fucked that up. My bad, dog poo. Here's your health back. Would you prefer to have lost that fucking health? Wouldn't you rather the game work as it's expected? That is working as it's expected. That's not a bug. That's it catching up. Units ignoring each other while walking by. That's something called aggro range multiplier. That's not a bug. That's you not understanding how the game works, which immediately makes me think you're stupid and you don't know what you're talking about, and you lose privileges on my stream. Thank you very much. Disregard Scott. Inuit is fine. This is coming from the guy who thinks Call Girl is a 3-cost card. Call Girl's body is easily... I would put that bitch out and put a ninja on her for 5 cost all day long. She's a better range card than Medusa without a fucking doubt, dude. You gotta be high to think. If I can play Call Girl's... If I can play Call Girl's body for 3 fucking value and not bring a card back, I would do that over bringing a card back every single day. Every single day, that's a better card. 1,000%. 100,000% it's a better card. One, you don't have to fucking build your deck with the big cards to even put in it. You can stack the Coon quicker with it. 3 cost for that and put the ninja on it. I mean, just crazy. Scissors fine too. Very strong, but he's legendary and should be feared. I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh, it's a legendary. It should be strong. No. No, a legendary at level 5 should be equal to a epic at level 6 or whatever the equal value is. A rare at level 7 roughly. You know, like it should be roughly equal value to its counterparts. And to say like, oh, it's epic, it should be better. That doesn't make any sense to me. The rarity of the card doesn't really have anything to do with necessarily the strength of the card. The rarity of the card typically has to do with the overall typically the overall upward value of the card. You know what I mean? Like the Inuit is a... You're a towel. What's up? Welcome. The Inuit is more, or the Inuit in the the Inuit and the Cyborg are worth more energy than their common counterparts, and because they're epics, they have a little bit more attack. But that's because of the scaling of the cards. And like technically, a level 7 common would be the same as a level 5 epic, and they're about the same stats typically, right? So it's kind of a... I don't... That's a dumb way to think of it. Because then you're shoehorning the strength of these cards, and like Dar then should be a legendary card. Pope should be a legendary card. It doesn't make sense for their abilities to be tied to their rank. That's just literally how the card scales. What levels this scale at and how you collect the cards. That's it. It shouldn't impact necessarily it's like how good it's going to be. Obviously, legendary cards have a higher upside because level 6 and 7 is a little bit of a bonus from like the max level 7s of all the other ones, right? So if you took max level 7 epic, it's probably going to be similar to like what, of 6 legend probably. So that extra from the 7 is going to make the legends a little bit better than the epics, but not like should be feared over it. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Then common cards should just be bullshit. Unholy is the same rarity as Transmog, although like without a doubt, Unholy is a better spell. I just doesn't make sense. The only cards in the game needing potential look, Mr. Slave. His heal loop behavior does not match the card text. Either his heal loop is broken or his text is not what actually happens. I don't think you... Yes, his shit works exactly as it's supposed to. He can just get stuck getting hit by fucking rats or something that always bring him barely over the limit and heals him back over it. I don't know. What do you mean it's not working right? Maybe it does break sometimes. I haven't seen it break in a long time though. Pope Timmy. Hey, Towel. Has Pope Timmy been buffed? Used to be able to snipe him before able themes get off. And I don't think he's changed. Might be just a little slow. There are times when my spells just are slower, whether it's connection or what. Satan Warcry cannot be stopped even when you know it's going to happen. That's not true, you fucking loser. You don't know how to snipe a Satan. Incan, I have no problem with his ability. However, the angling of his beam seems wrong compared to the game field. Yeah, that's just a weirdness on the targeting. That's just something you like. That's like a skill gap. You got to know, like, you got to know that Satan reaches a little bit further to the top and left. You got to know that Incan can angle a little bit to one side or the other based on like the hitboxes and stuff. Honorable mention, Dar is still not costed correctly, but isn't as game break as it was. That's, I mean, definitely 4 is a better slot for it. you had a delay in summon or war cry, thereby improving the chance of counter and much better. Yeah, but like, do you really want every card to be able to get sniped? Like, really? Yeah, exactly, Tao. You can stop him with UC. I mean, you can freeze him and kill him quick enough if you if you got the setup right. I've done that before. I actually have clips of that saved so anybody can see him. Satan, it's the same. You can feel if you're gonna get him or not just by feeling the lag or the connection. Yeah, for sure. There are tons of really powerful cards. Leanne, SPB, FB, Fireball's really not that good. Som, honestly, isn't that good either. Visitors, fairly good stuff. Wonder Tweak, really? Space Warrior tokens. I feel like Space Warrior's in a pretty good spot since they touched him last. But nothing game breaking currently. I still think Visitors are kind of busted just because I feel like Visitors should like inherently get less of an attack boost. Like they get 80% attack boost because they're aliens or something, you know what I mean? Oh, FB's Frontier Bradley. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Wonder Tweak being strong. I mean, I like him. But Wonder Tweak being too strong, he's good in Team Wars because it's fun to move people around with it. Like moving a Leanne out of the way with Wonder Tweak, so much fun. People just want to complain because they don't want to adapt. I mean, I agree with you there for sure. But there are definitely cards that have problems. And like nerfing these cards and changing them, you can do it a little bit. Like you can give Som 5% less health and then he dies to Lightning Bolt. You know, you can give Visitors 10% less attack and then they don't two-shot assassins or something. All you have to do is change a card just barely and it can completely change its viability. Imagine a card that dies to New Kid Blast, gets buffed just enough to survive New Kid Blast. That alone could make that card playable. Surviving New Kid Blast alone could make that card playable. So a 5% health increase, a 2 health increase. If that 2 health is all it takes to survive the New Kid Blast, there's I think level fucking I think it's a War Boy dies perfectly to a certain level New Kid. I can't remember what it is. Just perfectly. Figured out in Team Wars one time because we're like, well, if he survives, it's great, but it's just like fucking exactly. And it's level 7 too, so he can't survive it. Or maybe it's not New Kid, but it's like Incan or something, right? So it's like he barely survives this thing, and if he would survive it, it'd be great, right? It'd be great. Wonder Tweak feels stronger than he really is by the defensive nature of superhero. Yeah, but I don't think... Does that make Wonder Tweak strong? He's the only card that can really move a bunch of people. I mean, it's pretty sweet. But, I don't know. You still have to play... You can't just play Wonder Tweak, right? A lot of these other cards, you can just play that card. You know? I can just play Pope. I can just play Call Girl. I can just play Ninju. Well, not... Ninju has to have something on it, but you know what I mean. With Tweak, you have to have something to do the damage. Although Wonder Tweak, pretty damn good just Ranger, just in general. Anyway, that guy's like, sort of right, sort of wrong, sort of stupid. I think I've lost more to this than any other thing in the game. That is I bet they're talking about Hermes Kenny, who has a Hermes Kenny or Mysterion, and all the Kennys have one attack range multiplier. You know what that means? Aggro range multiplier. That means if you're not in their range, they will not try to fucking get you. So if you don't play your shit in range of that Hermes will walk on by, and that's the shit that you gotta learn if you want to be the best. And that's why you lose in Team Wars sometimes. I'm talking about combined value of the spam. Yeah, not the individual cards. Yeah, I mean, even individually, the other guy wasn't making sense. And players turning the game to complete and under mundane slogs because they use Inuit as a second cheap combust is not fair. That's so stupid. What the fuck are you talking about? A mundane slog because he's got a removal spell? It wouldn't be very fun if you could just build or just put Sizzler out after I put a removal spell out and then just win because I can't stop him, huh? What's fun about that? That same shit that you think that you'll be able to do to people when they don't have Inuit, those other fucking people are gonna be able to do the same shit to your bum ass when you don't have those same cards. Dumbass. No events intended, but all the math you indicate is predicted upon values you've decided to arbitrarily assign. Yes. And that is why putting values to these fucking cards is arbitrary and stupid, and it doesn't make any sense. You state Call Girl's 3-cost Barty, but she DPS more like a 4-cost, more like a 5-cost. Came Cooney's 4-cost. It's just so stupid. But by that argument, a huge number of cards could be moved up or down at a whim. Is Shield Main Wendy a 4-cost body, or if Inuit takes out MVP, is he a 7-cost body? Yeah. I do concede that there is an inflation nonetheless when looking at stacked summons, so 17 energy worth of value sounds more unbalanced than it actually is, but the chaining of Pope, Call Girl, Superhero remains largely out of balance play. But again, it can be managed and the advantage flipped completely by a timely removal. Okay, well think about this. Let's think about it from a removal state. I play, let's say I have to Call Girl, or I have to Lightning Bolt the Call Girl, I have to Unholy Combust the Pope, and I have to transmog. I mean, I can't obviously do all of these, but or maybe I cock magic the other one, right? Maybe I cock magic 1 unit at the end. But when you look at it from that perspective, at the cheapest, it's 14 energy for me to straight up remove those cards. Removal 5, 5, and 4, right? So at the cheapest, I would say that it's 6 cost for 14 value. At the cheapest amount, I would say, because I could remove it for 14. Technically. Not bad. But the thing that it does, though, is it forces you. It absolutely forces you to play those cards. If you're running adventure sci-fi, you're not stopping a Pope Call Girl deck unless you can snipe the Pope, which is very difficult. Just because in that deck specifically, it's easier to stop like a Manberry Pig or something like that. To stop the Call Girl, because I already had to deal with the Call Girl, which gave him an energy advantage. So I had to lose energy in the whatever you call it, the skirmish there, in order to be able to deal with the Call Girl, which is 6 value plus a 5-drop. So, or most likely a 5-drop, could be a 4-drop, whatever. So I'm most likely not at 4 energy to deal with the Pope when it comes out. So I'm most likely not going to be able to get the Pope in time. Snipe the Pope and you stop out 3. Yeah, but what if you're running superhero sci-fi? Then you're fucked. You're fucked. If you're running superhero sci-fi without Pope or without Call Girl, you cannot possibly, like, you can't possibly, well, I mean, not can't possibly, but like, just, it'd be very difficult to come back from that. Sniping Pope sounds almost impossible. I mean, it's so easy to do, but you have to have the energy to do it. And in order to defend what he just got from the value from Call Girl, it's not guaranteed that you're going to be able to have that 4 energy when all is said and done with Call Girl. That's all I'm saying. Play him or get out, right? Unless this has been very recent change, you can UC Satan before his war cry. Yep, it's definitely possible. This was promised to be in the works. Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyone else really want Jersey Kyle as a card? It's not arbitrary. It's a highly educated based on knowing how games like this are designed. You're a fucking idiot. You're so stupid. Jesus Christ. I don't even want to... I'd like to see other players' cards and energies. Would let you know if a Pope was sitting there rating. Yeah, I mean, that's why you could see the enemy's cards if you were running that deck tracker thing. But those people got banned because if everybody could do that, obviously it's kind of cool, right? But if I can do it and you can't, like, that's a huge advantage to me, right? But I will say that I wouldn't prefer that, because that's like playing blackjack and knowing what the dealer has. Like, it kind of ruins a little bit of the fun, not knowing what they have. And part of it is, like, part of the reason why this game infuriates me sometimes is because in a competitive setting, you would know the person's deck. In a competitive setting, there's multiple ways to do competitive settings like this, but the most probably preferred would be each player goes into the series, like a series of 7 or something like that. They go into the series with either an agreed upon deck that they both play the same deck, or they each play, they can make 3 decks or something like that, 2 decks, whatever, and the enemy gets to know what decks they have. They don't know what deck they're going to be playing against at the start of the game, but like, obviously, if I play like sci-fi mystic and then the other one is superhero fantasy or something like that, and I play fantasy, you're gonna know what deck I'm running, right? So you have the benefit of knowing the cards, knowing what you could potentially, what cards you're, and then sometimes you could do like flex cards where, okay, now that you know your enemy's deck, you could change 1 card or something like that. You know, some people have different rules, but you're typically, the thing is, you're not gonna be surprised. Like, that's why Team Wars is a truer test of skill than Ladder, because I know you might have Cock Magic or Satan or Leanne or something like that, or Ninja or something like that. So I can play in ways to counter that. I can play in ways where you're not going to be able to get that benefit. If I don't know that Satan's coming, I could play right into the Satan. If I don't know AQR's coming, I could play right into the AQR. And in a competitive setting, you don't get that surprise element typically. Now, some ways you can do it where, and one tournament I just played in is actually a pretty good setup where it's best of 5. The first deck you can come in, there's a couple cards banned, but the first deck you come in whatever you want. The winner has to keep the same deck, and then the loser can change. So the loser can counterpick the winner. So it's kind of fun to do it that way too. But in that sense, after that first game, I know what my enemy has, and then that next game, they don't know what I have, but then the next game, they know what I have. So, and then I can kind of know, like, if I play a deck where I have like a 10 cost card in it, I can assume that, because that's what I did. Like, I played a 10 cost card because I saw in his deck he didn't have any hard removal for that card, right? So it's like, I could win with this card alone. I ended up winning that match, and then when he counterpicked me, I figured he's gonna counterpick removal for that card, so I didn't even play that card. And sure enough, when I looked at his deck afterwards, he had a hard removal spell for that, specifically for that card. So that's a fun way to do it, where you can counterpick. But that's the thing, you're counterpicking. Like, you're drafting basically. You have knowledge of their deck. You won't really be able to surprise people. But to say that it's highly educated based on knowing how games like this are designed, what a dummy. My math is based on a very long study of costs. Elite Rage versus Elite Rage are the same cost, which is pretty much how card games work. The value of a card is comparable to others of the same cost, rarity, and type. I mean, not necessarily true, but yeah, sure. Then you adjust for things like body stats, Warcry effects, etc. I mean, he's right there, but you can't just, like, the card is still a 4-cost card. It still costs me 4 energy to put the fucking thing out, so it doesn't matter how much value I could get out of it. Doesn't matter how much value I get immediately from the Warcry. It doesn't matter. It costs me that much energy to put it out. I have a finite amount of energy in a game, something like 80, 90 or something like that, depending on if it goes into overtime or not. Team Wars, as flawed as it is the most competitive gameplay. I agree, Wally. I think the most competitive gameplay, honestly, is the content creator challenge modes, where you go in with those 4 decks, but it's pre-made decks, and you know what you're going up against. I think that's might be the most truest test of scale. But the problem with that is that there's also usually that bullshit, like there's some stupid gimmick going on with it too. Like, oh, you can use 40 Bradleys or some shit. True, some things aren't comparable. Well, yeah, for sure. Pope is definitely in line with stats of a 3-cost range elite. But he's not. He's got like, you, how can you compare him to like Shelly when Shelly has less range? You got to look at the DPS. Pope has quite a bit of health for his unit as well. Like, he's got quite a bit of health. So I don't know. And then you set the baseline summon at res at 3. That doesn't make any sense either. How could you possibly say that the summon value wouldn't be that of the card summoned? It's just so dumb. It's so dumb. He's like trying to autistic his way into making these stats make sense, but it doesn't make sense. Pope Callgirl Mary Jane Randy gives far more value than just Pope Man Bear Pig. Getting 2 range cards and something that drops to Zen Cartman, it's far more value than MVP in 1 range. Yeah, and it's technically less because it's pulling back a 6, not a 7. But like if you look at it just stats, Man-Bear Pig's probably better because you get more total health. But you can't look at it like that. It just doesn't make that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Pro tip, plan weak Wi-Fi. No shit. This is incorrect and is relative to the deck your opponent uses. If he uses Inkin, then to have Pope Callgirl lined up behind Kun is disadvantageous. I mean, not when, depending on the levels, both Pope and Callgirl survive the fucking Inkin. Compared to having the same body's value in the form of Pope Man-Bear Pig. Well, I mean, okay, I see what he's saying there, though. Like, that definitely is true. It does depend on your enemy. If you Pope back the Man-Bear Pig against someone who doesn't have anything left to deal with them, that's more value than if you Pope, you know, Callgirl MJR and you get Satan or whatever, you know? Like, I get that. But that's still value that I had to remove, right? I had to remove that value. How I remove that value doesn't impact how much value I got, right? It doesn't matter if I play a card that gets me 15 energy and I get cock magicked, it doesn't mean I didn't get 15 energy. It just meant he gained that much energy, right? Because that energy is still an energy that's out on the field that he has to deal with. So once it's out there, you can't just think about, oh, this is how much energy I spent, and this is how much energy he spent, and I ended up winning because he spent more energy than me to deal with my cards or whatever. It's like, yes and no, but once those cards are out there, it's energy I have to deal with. It's a energy value that I have to deal with. So if I'm thinking in my head, my return values, I'm thinking if I ink in half of that stuff, that's still nowhere near the amount of value and that's 5 cost, that's nowhere near the amount of value that 6 cost just got, because that 6 cost got all of the health that's still left after I inkined them, which is gonna be a lot typically, because Pope 5 doesn't even die to fucking Inkin 5, I don't think. I'm here to say every resurrected unit should come back -1 level. That just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That means as you arbitrarily go up those arbitrarily different things, then it's gonna mean less and less. If you take a level 5 card and you bring it to level 4, if it's an epic, that's a big deal. If you bring a level 7 epic to level 6, it's not gonna fucking change a goddamn thing. Nothing about it is gonna change. Nothing about the interaction changes if I bring a level 4 legend back versus a level 5. It's still fucking 6 or 5 energy extra, especially if it's Pope. If I bring Pope back, or if I bring Callgirl back with the Pope, if I bring Callgirl back, doesn't matter if she's level 1. She's still gonna bring that other unit in. It doesn't make sense to lower the value, because when you get to the end game where everything is level 7, the difference between level 6 and 7 is minuscule. It's not gonna impact anything. Fuck. I use the BOFA method. BOFA. Well, I would say Team Wars as a macro is flawed. Team Wars at the micro level, just the battles, is very well done. Very cool. No other game has like a team built deck actually battle thing. It's always like kill a Titan, do 40 million damage, or just win 30 battles as a team to get this level team chest, and then win 50 battles, and then win 80 battles and shit like that, or do a bunch of points. And it's basically just the stuff like our events, like South Park events. So, man, I mean, really, this game, I'm not just blowing shit up your ass, guys. I play every game that's like this, except for Clash Royale. Clash Royale, I dislike the company, but that's a different thing. I play every single game like this. Every game. Heroic, fucking Minion Masters, War Alliance, World War Do, Champion Strike, every single one. And South Park has the most different ways to play. It has the most ways to get good cards. It has the most way to get Legends free to play. These other games, you don't have a chance at Legends free to play. You don't have a chance. You have a 1% chance at a gold chest. You have a 1% chance in the gold chest to get a legend. It's fucking unreal how rare it is to get legends in these other games. South Park, you get one pretty much every week. And the pay structures in these other games are like fucking out of this world, man. One legend is like $30, and we're talking like just the legend card, not like a bunch of other shit with it, just the legend card. And you need so much you need a lot of upgrade mats and stuff like that in this game, but like compared to these other games where like I need 40,000 upgrade materials and you get 20 per chest. Ridiculous. I'd personally use Dara on Tornado Tweak if she was still 3 cost. Oh, what's this guy saying? You can still play way to fix 2 cards that are impacting the most while keeping their comboing fun. You can still play Inkin to clean up the board if that's how you like to play it, but can't do that much. Lame damage is resurrect him more and more. So you say every time you resurrect him, he should come back lower? So if I Pope Inkin twice, that... So if I have a level 5 Inkin and I Pope Inkin, it's a level 4 Inkin. Then I play level 5 Inkin, my level 5 Inkin dies, and I Pope back a level 3? Are you fucking mad? Are you fucking stupid? Yeah, no, I mean, I can watch an ad and get lockers and get a legend in a locker. There is no fucking way on the planet these other games have a chance at a legend in something like a free thing. A free pack? You can get legends from a free pack in this game. No fucking chance you can get a 5-star at a free pack in these other games or from watching an ad. Like, Jesus Christ. Fucking spoiled over here and people still complain. You changed the rewards. They didn't change the rewards. They moved them around. So now you can get a fucking epic in the 3rd pack instead of having to get to the end for even 1 chance at an epic. So eat shit. The events are way better now. You don't have to finish them to get value. You can get halfway through, get an epic, and go to fucking sleep instead of having to grind for an hour to not feel like your other hour was wasted because you got dog shit. Fight me about it. The new events are way better. Although they should scale with your level. They should definitely do that. Or your arena, not your level. That's just me saying this makes literally no sense. Oh, man. But, I mean... Every time you use Pope, all your enemy cards should go up 1 level. Yeah, that's just real dumb. To level down, like I said, once you hit level 7, that's really bad timing, buddy. That's really bad timing. I'm gonna refund that one. But that one's my favorite. Illuminati's try harden and chefs and free to play are just out having fun. This one is clever as shit. Hey, is this how you spell Illuminati? No, you forgot the back-to-back L's. Oh boy, that's just good stuff. I haven't used it yet, wasn't sure what it did. Oh dude, it's Sesame Street and it's hilarious, but it's like 3 minutes long, so I'll refund you and you can do that one later. But yeah, that does it for the weekly update this week. We are gonna keep playing South Park, so stick around. We're gonna finish up the event. But if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. I'm going for 1,000 subscribers over this year. We're at 648 now. So if you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it if you did. If you're in Twitch right now and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, I would really appreciate it if you did. It helps me out. And then obviously just watching the videos helps. And I appreciate you guys that watch the videos that aren't South Park. That actually means a lot to me. From the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart. All right, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're going to continue talking shit and shooting the breeze about South Park. But all of you guys on YouTube are going to be left out. So if you want to be part of it, make sure you're here next week at 7 p.m. Central. Sometimes 7:30, it depends. If I'm not there at exactly 7 o'clock, then it'll be 7:30 usually. So we'll see you then. And next week we'll do another giveaway for some sort of South Park card. I have like 5 of them to send out. I'm gonna send them out, and then I don't like to. Once I do 5 of them, then I want to send them out, and I don't want to do more of them until I send them out. So But we'll do that. So yeah, thanks everybody. A solution for all this dumb complaining would be to make them play Adventure Lock. No removal, not the best cards in the game, just meta reading in time. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter what level my cards are if a fucking level 5 main bear pig comes my way and he arrow storms my Inuit. Like, what am I supposed to do then? What am I supposed to do? My literal only hope is that I have Gunslinger in my deck and Mackie in my deck, and I can somehow just out damage the shit out of that 3,000 damage or whatever he's gonna have coming at me. Anyway, Savage, appreciate you guys stopping by. Savage won the giveaway last time, so next week we'll see who wins. We'll do the giveaway next week live on Twitch though, not on the YouTube videos, live on Twitch, so make sure you're there, and we will see you next time. Peace out everybody, and have a good rest of your week. Later.